Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to recap week 17 of the NFL season and my picks predictions. And wish everybody a happy new year as well. Um, let's start off 2024 right. We're going to count this as 2023 since yesterday technically was. But went 1 and 2. Um, didn't see a lot last week or this week, so I only had 3 games. Hit on my high stakes play to at least finishing the green money wise. So, but yeah, there wasn't really a lot out there, so I kind of a light week, I guess. So getting into it, the Niners Commanders. I laid the 14. Thought the Niners are the completely superior team here. One of the best teams in the NFL versus a team that doesn't have anything to play for. They're gonna fire their coach. They have the worst defense in the league. They didn't start Jacoby Brissett like I thought, but they went with Sam Howell, who started out okay in this game. And I was actually worried. This was 10-10 in the first half, and Sam Howell was doing all right. Commanders' offense was doing okay. And then the turnovers came in the second half. The Commanders also stopped running the ball. Yet again, I've talked about this before with them. The Commanders can run the ball, actually, with Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson. They can actually run the ball. They just, all season, have failed to actually commit to the running game. So, they lean on the arm of Sam Howell, and it gets them a top 10 pick, and a coach who's out the door. Not the wisest decision, in my opinion, but, coaches are going to do what coaches are going to do. Uh, Anyways, the Niners ended up pulling away the second half of this game. Got a little dicey. The Commanders were down in the red zone, and they ended up throwing a pick in the second half to kind of really solidify us covering. The Niners win 27-10, and we hit on that pick. Rams, Giants, man, this one kind of aggravated me because I wasn't gonna do this as a high stakes play, but because my model didn't push it out there like that, but I was pretty confident that the Rams would cover this. Didn't go as I thought. Didn't go as I thought. The Rams were up. What was it? 23. Well, let me get to it. All right, so they're up 20-10, and they're up 20-16 because Darius Slayton catches an 80-yard touchdown, like out of nowhere. But they missed the PAT. They get a field. Giants get a field. And that's 2019 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I need a touchdown. Thankfully, Rams went right down the field. 3 plays. Kyren Williams runs it in, touchdown, and now it's 23. I'm sorry, it is 26-19. Right? We're covering here. I laid the 6. We're covering here. The Giants offense couldn't sustain a drive in that fourth quarter, right? But the Rams were playing that fourth quarter like the game was already over, especially offensively. They weren't moving the ball at all. They weren't getting first downs to milk the clock and get out of New York with the win. And it broke. They punt the ball to New York. Terrible tackling on this punt, by the way. And Gunnar Olszewski, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, runs the punt back, 94-yard punt return for a touchdown, man. So now, I mean, I don't care who wins or loses this game. Now, the cover's out the door. The only hope I got is the Rams go down the field, because this was 3.5 minutes left. The Rams go down the field and score a touchdown to win this game. And then it doesn't play out like that. This is what fried me. The Giants score that touchdown, and then they miss the extra point. Or I'm sorry, they missed the 2-point conversion. Like, they went for 2. Kick the PAT. Oh yeah, this is what happened. There was a penalty on the extra point on the Rams. They got them closer, so the Giants were like, well, let's go for 2, take the lead. For gambling purposes, that screws us, because now the Rams are going to just try to milk the clock. They're not going to try to score, right? So now, unless there's a busted play and the guy runs it back for a touchdown, we're out. And they don't get the 2. The Giants actually get the ball back, went down the field, and missed the game-winning field goal. Rams got lucky to get out of New York with the win. but they really burned us there on covering this 6. That fourth quarter was a really bad performance by that Rams offense. And then finally, Bengals Chiefs. I told you guys this is low money right here. Okay, this is a low stakes play. I'm not buying into Jake Browning or taking a big risk on Jake Browning, but I thought they'd keep it close, 6.5. I took the plus 6.5 against Kansas City because the Chiefs have been disarray. Just offensively, they're just completely in disarray. But Pacheco came back. I thought he'd be banged up, and he said he was playing, but I didn't think he'd be that effective against a bad Bengals run defense. But it's a beat up running back. Nope, he ran for 130. But in the end, it didn't matter. The Bengals are up 17-7 in the first half. We got the 6.5, so we're looking fine. And then, sure enough, the Chiefs just start chipping away with field goals. They end up hitting 6 field goals the rest of the game. They outscored them 18-0 and win this game 25-17. Now there was some, Bengals fans out there putting out a lot of stuff about the officials. There was a bad intentional grounding call on Jake Browning. That was a really bad call. It kind of basically ended the drive for the Bengals. And then there's a sack it's out there if you've seen on Twitter. Chris Jones is lined up offsides. I mean, to be fair, he's clearly lined up offsides. I mean, you still got to block the guy, right? But he's clearly lined up offsides, and it turns into a sack. So there was some moments there in the game where the Bengals got kind of screwed by the officials. But the reality is, man, they didn't do anything offensively in that second half. Outside of one drive, they had a drive. It was in the early third. What was it? Yeah, early third quarter. They got down inside the 10, and they went for it on 4th and 1, and they got blown up. We wish they kicked the field goal there, right? You gotta take your points on the road. And that loss actually eliminated the Bengals from the playoffs. The last 2 weeks against Chiefs and against the Steelers, I think Zach Taylor makes some questionable decisions in the red zone with their backup quarterback who has a hard ceiling on how good he actually is. Bad coaching, in my opinion, but that's something I guess won't matter next season when Joe Burrow is back. Hopefully he's there for the whole year. But anyways, that wraps it up. So went 1-2. Like I said, hit on the high stakes plays, which is what you always want to hit on, right? Because that's where you're going to make your most money. And that's what happened for me here. Already updated my ATS. So 16-7. It's not bad. It's pretty solid season so far. I'm going to take a hard look at the last week of the season because, as you guys know, there's going to be some games that don't matter. And because they don't matter, those are hard to bet on, right? With like backups playing and stuff like that. But I'll take a look at that and look out for here soon before these games kick off. I'm going to be doing the college football playoff, so I'm going to have a video on both games and my picks and predictions on both those games. But anyways, if you like the content, please like, follow, subscribe, and you're going to see my YouTube channel here in a few seconds. Take care.